May have to leave New Zealand without the diplomas they've paid tens of thousands to study for. This follows the collapse of 2 academic institutions. The business students are threatening to protest tomorrow unless the National Qualifications Authority helps them out. Katie Bradford reports.
For these students, the dream of a future in New Zealand looks shaky.
We don't have an option, so we want to fight for our results because we spent 2 years here.
Tanya Ahuja is one of about 20 students affected by NZQA's clampdown on Tasman International academies. They had nearly finished their business diplomas when they got bad news. NZQA was holding back their qualifications.
We got the result for six assessments and just 2 left, and I don't know why they stopped.
To make matters worse, for some of them, this is the second time it's happened after the collapse of New Zealand National College last year. They say NZQA assured them their studies and money would be safe at Tasman.
Like, there's no fault of us in that.
I have spent around $30,000 in my 3 years of study.
And with their study visas due to expire, they are begging the Immigration Minister to intervene.
But I really feel for these people. They are in a very difficult situation. It's not their fault. And I think the immigration system and education system need to respond to them.
NZQA says regular monitoring identified problems at 2 level 5 and 6 diplomas at Tasman academies, and work was immediately stopped. It says students are its priority and it will continue working with them to help them complete their studies.
In the past year, NZQA cancelled the registration of 8 providers, 6 of which enrolled international students. That represents 2% of the sector. Those helping the students say their welfare should be paramount when closures occur.
In these cases, it seems like it's the last thing the system is worried about.
And they just want to put their studies to use in the New Zealand business world.
If I get any better opportunity, I will love to stay here.
But now with NZQA and the Immigration Minister looking into this issue, there may be hope still. Katie Bradford, One News.
And international students will find it harder to work in New Zealand after they finish studying. That's after the government's changes to work rights as it looks at tackling skills shortages here. Chris Chang explains.
It's been described as a false dream, the idea that post-study work rights can put international students on a fast track to residency. Now the government's revealed its overhaul of the international student work visa scheme.
There's no longer going to be a focus on bums on seats. We will be focused on providing high-quality, high-value education.
From November this year, employer-assisted post-study work visas are gone. There'll be an additional year for those studying outside of Auckland, and those who gain higher qualifications like a bachelor's or postgraduate degree will be able to get a 3-year work visa without any employer assistance. And international students studying postgrad level or higher must be working towards areas on the long-term skills shortage list in order for their partner to be eligible for an open work visa.
There remains a pathway to residency for those who study at below degree level, but the message is clear. We want our immigration and education system to deliver the skills that we need.
It's going to make it easier to recruit international students into the regions, whereas often it's been quite challenging to get them to come out of the big cities.
Although the government admits the tertiary industry could lose up to $59 million worth of fees.
Graduate diploma students are still worse off by about a year, but at least the government has listened to the calls of the tertiary sector that told them that this was going to devastate that sector.
And while it's hoped the changes will combat migrant exploitation, there are still fears for those studying at a lower level.
Where the exploitation starts is when they're kind of sold the idea of the education overseas and getting the wrong information about what exactly they're investing in.
An investment they'll now have to think twice about with tighter rules in place. Chris Chang, One News.
Around 100